Hello, it's lovely to see you all again, and today we are going to be making banana cake or banana bread, and it's a huge favourite in our family, and it's a really good way of using up bananas when they go like this. Now, I don't like eating bananas when they go like this, but they are absolutely perfect for this recipe. In fact, the browner and darker the skin, the better. Doesn't really work well with a kind of green or just slightly turning yellow banana. Just doesn't have that flavour. So this is what you want. And sometimes I open one of these bananas and I'm like, I'm not even sure if this is okay to use this banana, but as long as it's not absolutely covered in bruises, it is okay to use. I had washed my hands, but just to remind you all, wash your hands. So, when you open your really dark brown banana, it is really quite soft, and all you need is a fork and a flattish bowl, and you mash it, but you hardly need to use any energy whatsoever, because if the banana is still kind of good to eat and kind of ripe, it's quite a lot of pushing and it's quite tricky to do. But for my sore shoulder, this is brilliant because it is literally done in a flash. Okay, so that's the state of your bananas for this recipe. Now, I have actually tripled this recipe because I had quite a few bananas that needed using up. So it doesn't matter, I've given you the right amount of ingredients to use, but if you find you've got loads of bananas, you can just times it by 2 or times it by 3 and it works brilliantly. And I was going to show you that I use a loaf tin like this. Okay, now I get these liners, just makes life so much easier, but you don't need them. All you have to do is butter your tin really well, or you can get some greaseproof paper and maybe just line the bottom, or you can line all of it. I'm sure your grown-up will help you what to do there, with what to do. So I'm going to put my liner inside. And this is one of the easiest recipes in the world. And I've always had people say, oh, it's my favourite cake. It's my favourite cake that you do. And I'm always like, oh, well, thank you. But it literally, I do just throw it together. So maybe the secret will be out now about how easy it is. Okay, I do think one of the magic ingredients though is this, and not all of you will have it, and it really doesn't matter. You can just use ordinary sugar. Now that is a very dark brown sugar, and it's called muscovado sugar, and it's got a very high molasses content, so it tastes quite treacly. Now I decided to try swapping some of this into the recipe years and years ago, and we just love it. However, I do half and half. So in here I've just got ordinary, well, I've got caster sugar, but you can use granulated sugar, and then half muscovado, nearly said molasses sugar, muscovado. You can get light muscovado and dark muscovado, but that is what I think is the key to this yummy cake. And the other thing we've just decided to add very recently in lockdown, which does make it even more naughty, are chocolate chips. And I just thought white chocolate chips, these are actually chocolate chunks, white chocolate chunks. I thought these might be a really good addition, just to make it a little bit more naughty. And when the cake is cooked and you go and have a slice of it one day, you can cut the slice and just put it in the microwave for about 20-30 seconds, and the white chocolate melts into your cake and becomes all lovely. So you don't need the chocolate chips, okay? You don't need the muscovado sugar. You do need the bananas. Okay, the rest of the ingredients, we are literally throwing into our bowl. Now I'm not going to mix it by hand. I'm going to cheat and use my mixer, which is behind the flowers. But you can use an electric whisk, or you can use a wooden spoon, okay? Any way is okay. You might just need a bit more muscle if you've got a spoon, okay? But basically, we're throwing all our ingredients in this bowl and we're done, okay? So I've already got my bananas in here. I'm going to add my self-raising flour. You can do it in any order you want, by the way, but if you're doing it along with me, that might make it a bit easier. And don't forget, pop the pause button if I'm going too fast. Okay, so I've got my bananas and my flour, and I've got my margarine, which is quite soft, so that makes it easy to mix. Then I have got my 2 sugars. In they go. Now, I'm going to leave the chocolate chips until the end when it's mixed, just so they don't all break up. In here, I've got some bicarbonate of soda, okay? Something we use in baking. Sometimes it's baking powder, but sometimes they want that. Then I have got my 3 eggs. You don't need to beat them. They can just go in whole. 3 eggs. And then one more ingredient, which I thought I'd just measure out. It's much easier than popping it in a bowl. Is some vanilla paste. Or you can use vanilla essence. Or if you don't think you like it at all, you leave it out. So I need, for my huge amount, I need 1.5 teaspoons. But you should only need half a teaspoon if you're just following the recipe as I've given it to you. Okay, double check my ingredients. Yep, they're all in. So that is basically it. Easy peasy. And I'm just going to pop it in my mixer. Oops. And I will start mixing, and I will see you when we have mixed our cake batter. We'll see, it all has to be really well mixed in and quite smooth. Let's see. So your cake mixture or batter should be beautiful and smooth. Okay, I'll give you a little, if you can fill up in there without me pouring it all over my breakfast bar. Can you see? Lovely and smooth. And it smells delicious. So I am just going to gently mix in my chocolate chips. Okay, so in they go. Now I've chosen white chocolate because we think it works really well with this particular cake, but you could try dark chocolate chips. You could try milk chocolate chips. You could even try, as long as there's nobody allergic in your family, you could maybe try some nuts. I know other people have added dried fruit as well. That is another idea if you want to mix it up a little bit. Okay, so I've just mixed them in. If I do it in my machine, I always worry they're going to break up a little bit too much and go too small. Okay, so I've got my loaf tin here. Now this can be interesting. It's slightly runny mixture. If you're not careful, it kind of goes down the outside of the paper. So the way I do it just helps me is just do a really small amount first. Go right down and drop it in the middle. and hope that your paper case doesn't collapse in. It didn't do it then. It does do it sometimes. I get myself in a right muddle. Okay, then I'm going to add another small spoon at the other end and another small spoon at this end, and now the paper at each side is quite happy to stay well and truly open, so it's not going to collapse in on itself. And then I am just going to pop the mixture into my tin. Now, those of you who spotted, I did forget to tell you at the beginning to turn your oven on, but hopefully you are all becoming such amazing bakers, you'll have thought well ahead and thought, hang on a minute, we need our oven on. So my oven has been on, warming up at 180 degrees. 180 degrees. And we're going to pop this in the oven for around 40 minutes. Now, all ovens can vary, so I always check mine about 5 to 10 minutes before. Don't slam that oven door if it's not cooked, otherwise that's all air in and the cake will flop. Anyway, there we go. So I'll see you when this kitchen will be smelling divine when the cake comes out of the oven. Hello. I hope by now you can smell your delicious cake and it is cooked. Now remember, use your skewer. Use your skewer to put it right into the middle of the cake, and if it comes out clean, your cake is cooked. If it comes out with cake mixture on it, it still needs a few more minutes in the oven. The only thing is with the white chocolate chips, if you hit a white chocolate chip as you're going in, the skewer's going to come out with lots of melted chocolate on it. So you might need to just have a little prod around. Okay? And it does go quite dark, this cake. It's all that lovely dark sugar in it. So don't worry, it's not burnt. It's not got black burnt bits on it. It is literally just beautifully cooked. And the only thing I do, just to finish it off, is I just add some icing sugar, because I think it looks pretty. If you want though, I have seen people do this, you can get dried banana chips, like little chips, circular pieces of banana that have been dried, and you could stick those on the top, and that would also look nice. Okay, there you have it. Enjoy.